I just recently switched from Android to iPhone. I had a Pixel 8 Pro and recently got the iPhone 16 Pro. I went with the 16 instead of the 17 because of reasons I'm not even attempting to explain. Because every single person that thinks that the iPhone 17 is good design deserves to be put down. It's not like I'm new to the iPhone. I already had iPhone in between Androids. And for work, I have an iPhone 15, so I kinda knew what I was getting myself into. But when I started using my iPhone as a daily driver, I noticed that I've been lied to by Apple users. I'm not bringing up points like, you get a better Android phone for $150 than an iPhone. People who make these kinds of arguments should have their internet access revoked. But still, let me tell you my issues with my new iPhone. And especially with the lies that I've been told, especially by Apple users. Lie number 1, it just works. That was the biggest lie. Because when I went to confirm my iCloud address, nothing was working. I didn't get any confirmation mail or message or even some kind of notification on my other devices. I was basically locked out from my account because I couldn't confirm it. So right from the start, stuff's not working. Took me nearly an hour because the activation is just broken. Since then, stuff has been mostly smooth, but I didn't have this issue with Google at any time. Also, I use these cheap-ass $10 headphones. I have AirPods Pro, but why use them if I have a set of completely working headphones? Well, that's a lie. Any kind of third-party device has been causing way more issues than on any of my other devices. And I can compare that because I connect them to everything. So yes, if you have Apple to Apple stuff, that stuff is working greatly. Anything else? Well, it's not fun. But that explains why Apple users think that Apple is just working. It isn't. It's just they make it horrible for the rest of us to make their hardware appeal better. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's exactly the opposite. It works pretty nice, but it just leaves a bad impression if everything else is causing issues. Also, typing on my iPhone, for some reason, I don't know why, feels horrible. I'm making so many spelling mistakes and I don't know why. Maybe my fingers are just too fat, but also not an issue I've had on Android. So it just works. Well, maybe for you, maybe on my next iPhone. This one certainly just isn't that easy going. But there's also another lie that they've been telling to me, which is that Face ID is awesome. And okay, that's a bit of a lie. Face ID is actually pretty good. It's fast, it's super reliable, and it's easy to use. So what's my issue with it? Well, a lot of the time, it really doesn't feel as smooth as the fingerprint sensors that I've been used to. Having the fingerprint sensor on the back, like on the Pixel 2, was in my opinion the peak of phone design. I could unlock the phone while it was still in my pocket and just pull it out. Also, this is something you only see with iPhone users, that they have this kind of death stare, when for some reason on the first attempt their Face ID is not working, and they just look like they're shitting themselves actively when they're trying to unlock their phone. I'm not saying that Android is better in that regard. Android's face recognition compared to Apple just sucks. But sometimes Face ID feels a little clunky. Not bad, but certainly not as great as people make it out to be. And the third lie is that you don't notice the notch. That's just a fucking lie. On my Android phones, I got annoyed with the punch hole, and having the notch in there is 100% shit. I'm pretty sure that at least on the iPhone 20 this thing will be a thing of the past, and people will ask themselves how they ever even got away with something like that. It's intrusive, it's big, well, they do some animations with it, but in my opinion, it's just not good design. So, do I regret my switch? Well, to be honest, there is not much to regret. We are living in a time that smartphones easily cost over $1,000. And when you spend so much on a device, it's gonna be somewhat good. I would say that in the highest price segment, all these phones are more similar than different. Everything at this point just works. The iPhone 16 Pro that I have is great. I love the video quality, that's amazing. And all in all, it's just a very, very nice phone. So I will get further used to it and maybe give you my opinions after a couple of months. Stay tuned if you want to see that. See ya, guys.